Detective. A pleasure to finally make your acquaintanceship up close and personal. You're very welcome for coming in for voluntary questioning. Though, the voluntary bit remains to be seen. Am I alright being handcuffed while interviewed for safety purposes? Well, if it's for your safety, I suppose I can oblige a pretty lady. Pretty interesting case, from what I hear. A real proper murder mystery with a lot of loose threads to tie down. Honestly, it all sounds so exhausting. Is the paid time off as a cop any good? Really? That's how you want to play it? Okay. The silent treatment. Alright, alright. Are you going to have some big burly mean man come in to play bad cop? While you sit there and you stare at me like a disapproving mother? Or are you going to be a good cop and a bad cop? Because if so, I kinda like it. Where was I last Wednesday at 8 p.m? Let me think. Last Wednesday. I'm pretty sure I was checking out that new action flick with a date that didn't really pan out. I still have the movie ticket stubs in my pocket. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took some dumb selfies there too. Thought it'd be cute doing that during the best part. Yeah, there's a reason it didn't pan out. She was pretty and sweet, but I don't know. I prefer a woman who takes her action seriously. Who takes life a little bit more seriously. Nothing more dangerous or wonderful than a woman who's decided to stop playing nice to the world. Wouldn't you agree, detective? Why, of course, of course. Here, you can see the ticket stubs and the selfies. Here. Confessing is really in my best interest, is it? Typical read technique. Right, right. I'm sure you're following the peace method to the letter, my dear. After all, a false confession or booking would probably just destroy your moral compass, wouldn't it? Come on, detective. Hit me with something a little bit more unconventional. This normal police interrogation techniques, it's unfortunately not gonna cut it. It's not gonna work on me. You look angry. In a tough spot, detective? Is it because you know most of the other interrogation techniques are brutal, cruel, and unfair to those being questioned, and that bothers you? Wow. The most successful and hardest detective on the beat has more convictions than anyone else? Wow. Do you ever wonder if all of them were truly guilty? No? Of course not. You do your job and you do it well. Say, how's about removing these cuffs though? Honestly, my wrists, they're starting to hurt, and it's affecting my ability to just recall critical information, you know? Things that would be need to know information. You have my word. On my best behavior, detective. I promise. If you want, you can question my boys all you want. They're pretty damn loyal though. And it's not as if you'll get anything new from them. Come on, sweetheart. I'm playing nice, aren't I? I came in here voluntarily, outside of custody, of course. And that's mostly just because you can't find shit to pin the blame on me, can you? What? You know I'm involved somehow? Oh. But how? How? How do you catch the big, mean, smug criminal when all the evidence seems to point to something or someone else being the problem, Such a conundrum. Listen, detective. I'm not saying you're wrong about me having some involvement. I'm just saying you can't prove it. Was that a confession? You tell me, detective. You're the professional after all. I didn't come here to waste your time. I didn't come here to antagonize you. Though, you do make it mildly fun to tease you. Gosh, you're so uptight, angel face. Don't you ever take a break? No? You know, people talk about you, detective. They say that you're relentless. A bloodhound in almost the literal sense, never resting. But they also say you grip your chest in pain sometimes. That you go whole days without meals. That your boss has been threatening to put you on medical leave if you collapse again. Hold still. Detective. You could do so much better, couldn't you? Gosh. I see that I've pushed you past the point of this being fun. Relax, detective. I'm not calling you bad at your job. But your job is bad at using you correctly. Something we could perhaps discuss further tonight. Oh, I'm sure you're off in an hour. And I'm your last interrogation of the night. I bet you're aching to go home. Pour some wine, maybe rant to a cat or two about what a Sammy asshole I was. And how you hope I catch some rare tropical flesh-eating disease right where the sun doesn't shine. Am I close? What? Oh, spicy. Careful, detective. If you tell me to go and do that to myself, I may just take you up on it. See you soon, dear.
Gentlemen, a toast to the new squire of Glass Crossing. That's her? Oh, that's her, all right. Oh, I'm sure she has a very charming nature.
Detective, hello? It's just me, dear. I promised you we'd meet up again later, no? How did I find out where you live? Oh, sweetie. Why don't you come out and let's have a real talk, huh? No cameras, no manuals the size of a phone book. Nothing to stop you from interrogating me the way you really, really wish you could. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Love, we have reservations at 8:45 at Poseidon's. Boys, pieces down, God. I do not recall asking you to draw your weapons in the first place. Fucking imbeciles. You bastards better remember who signed your paycheck. Don't any of you ever even act like you'd raise a hand to her, much less a god fucking gun. You understand me? Sheesh. Detective, I am so sorry. Apologies for the rather ungentlemanly opening to the night. I did, however, make a promise to you when we last left off, did I not? Well, if you'd be so kind as to lower your weapon. Thank you. Now, would you mind joining me to dinner? I'd like to prove that I'm a man of my word. Please? Am I seriously asking you out? Angel, I would never be so crass or rude. I simply thought a nice dinner might be a good way to apologize for my initial behavior, as well as for any grief given tonight. It's on me, of course. Right. Of course, I simply want to discuss the case, my dear detective. I promise. And I know how desperate you are for any good leads. So why not take a chance, You are so adorable. Please. Allow me. Driver, take us to Poseidon's, won't you? Window up. I expect this conversation is going to become a bit more intimate while you fight through traffic. I'm terribly sorry. My memory has been so foggy concerning the case, detective. I'm truly hopeful that a good meal might jog the old memory. However, you know what they say about a good meal. Way to a man's heart, after all. You think I just get off on messing with the police, Oh, that would be very naughty of me. Wasting police time and resources? Gosh. But honestly, I don't like to think of you as a resource. I'd say I think of you as something far more precious. A diamond jutting out from a wall filled with mud and graffiti. I think you're better than them. And I think you know it. So, tell me something. What led you to wanting to be a police officer, You have such a big heart that it almost doesn't make sense. Why would someone who cares so much want to be in such a violent profession, Why should you tell me? Well, maybe it might help me remember more about the case while reminiscing. Please, just relax. Be a little vulnerable, detective. If I'd wanted to harm you, I think I've very well demonstrated that I could have quite easily buried you. Your cute little posse garden out back. I see. Your mother was killed when you were very young by a drunk driver. Your father went off the rails trying to bring whoever did it to proper justice. But because the driver had a rich father, he basically evaded justice entirely. Your father, he kept pushing until one day you came home and just, found him dead? Single bullet wound to the back of the head. God, that is a clear execution. Your old man could never bring him to justice, but you did, huh? Yeah, I remember that case. Son of a local billionaire, given life in prison for homicide. That makes a lot more sense. I could feel it. You have a strong sense of justice, but part of it comes from a place of hurt and vengeance. No, I'm not calling you a vigilante, sweetheart. I'm calling you a good person who happens to be pissed off at an unfair world where the rich and powerful can take your life away in an instant and poof. That's it. No justice. No recompense. A whole world of laws that hardly ever fit the punishment. I'm not making fun. We're a lot alike, detective. I too lost my father to a criminal that decided to play God. The main difference is that I knew that the law wouldn't get me justice. Not real justice. All the laws out here, they're made by gibbering cowards stuffed into fancy suits for point of bursting out like maggots falling out of a corpse. When I lost my old man, I made my own laws. And following them gave me a freedom I had never known before. I know laws exist for a reason. I know. I'm just saying, maybe make and follow some of your own sometime. Instead of just doing what Johnny Law says is the way to live. Officers always think they always have so much power. But really, it's nothing. So easy to take away what freedoms and power you think you have. The world has rules, beautiful. And following them leaves you at the mercy of the people who don't. Just like the man that took your parents from you. Just like the man that took my father from me. It's only by creating your own laws and following them, and truly then that you obtain any real power. And then when you know who you truly are at your core, that is when you impose your will and your laws on every other person around you. Then you are truly powerful. I'm well aware that you hate criminal scum like me, and more so my ideals. Believe me, I can feel it radiating clear across the limo. It's okay. Look, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like me. But I'm going to keep enjoying the sight of you while I have it. After all, it's so rare that I get to enjoy the company of someone so viciously intelligent and understatedly gorgeous in a simple black gown. You're hard to look away from, love. Even when you look at me with so much hate in those pretty eyes. So very hard to look away from. Looks like we've arrived. Shall we? Here we are, dearest. Right this way. Boys, you can vamos. I've got it covered with the detective. For now, so scram. Keep a low profile while you're casing the joint and call me if anything suspicious comes up, capiche? Good evening, Stefan. My usual table, please, with my usual order. And anything the lady wants. You put it on my tab, no questions asked, okay? How's your dinner, my dear detective? I'm glad to hear it. Poseidon's might be pricey, but they're one of the few places I've found where the price is actually somewhat warranted for once. Fresh seafood, premium steak, and privacy to enjoy a nice dinner date with a beautiful lady that hates your guts. What's there not to enjoy? Okay, I know. The case. It's all that's ever on my poor detective's mind. Gosh. Must drive you insane chasing down each and every single lead. Do I intend on simply teasing you for eternity, or did I have a point to make? Let me think about that. I suppose I have once again pushed you well beyond your limits of patience, haven't I? My sweet detective. It's hard not to tease, you know? You really do make it so fun. Fine. You want an honest confession from me? Well, detective, the truth is I have no idea who did it. Wait. Don't be so quick to storm off. I promise you, this wasn't just a waste of your time or to get you riled up. Please, sit back down and let's talk this through, okay? You're not the only one with a vested interest in this case. Thank you. I know I've been an ass, and I get it. You have no reason to trust me, or to like me. I wasn't involved in the case myself, but Some of my boys were involved when they had no business being so. As their boss, I've taken that somewhat personally. Enemies? Oh, angel face, hundreds of them. This doesn't feel like it was targeting me in particular. Maybe I'm not such a great detective either. What makes you say that? Because if someone did want to get me out into the open, they'd attack my boys first, knowing that it was a guaranteed way to piss me off. Well, I suppose I have to eat my words from our first meeting somewhat, don't I? A slice of humble pie paired with a good lobster biscuit isn't the worst meal I've ever eaten. I'll take it over sleep sandwiches any day. Someone else who grew up on struggle meals. I see. How does this compare? No, not to those meals. I mean to the shitty food you pack down while you're on the beat or working cases. How does it feel to be off your feet for once? Relaxing and enjoying a bit of luxury. It makes you feel dirty? Oh, God. You are a tough nut to crack, detective. Surely allowing yourself even a little bit of the finer things in life doesn't make you some sort of monster. You work so hard trying to keep real monsters from hurting people. Why not relax? Even if it's just for a night. Because the last time you let yourself just relax for the night, you found your father dead. Fair enough. I won't push. Though, there is a part of me that so desperately wants to get even the simplest of human reaction from you. A laugh, a smile, a brief moment of connection between two broken people who honestly, deep down, want the same things. We don't want the same things? Really? Do you not want to solve this case? Right. You don't want to enforce your will on others for power. That's rich, coming from a cop, detective. But I think you may just be the one officer I've met who I truly believe is altruistic. Listen. When I made my own laws, I made my own family with it. Those dumb, ugly bastards might be idiots, but they're my idiots. And the fact that the two of them almost caught body bags because of some rogue agent has me a little heated. If they're playing a game to draw me out, then round one clearly goes to them. But here's what I don't think they'll be expecting, right? You and me. Us working together. And why not? I know what I am. You know what I am. And you know that I know the beat better than most. It's clear that I have a target on my back as well. And I do believe that the police protect and serve those who are being threatened. Listen, darling, you can hate me if it makes you feel better. But I just think you hate that I'm right. Detective? Did you eat something before you had your dinner? Here, come here. Lean on me. Because I'm 50-50 on you passing out right here in the middle of the restaurant. I'd rather you pass out in my arms than topple to the ground and risk hitting your head. Here. Take this water, sip. Good girl. There you go. Call you a good girl again and you'll make sure I have a reason to get called one too? Okay, understood. Just breathe. You're safe. You're safer than you understand, detective. Far more than I think you'd allow yourself to be on your own. And that's exactly why we need to work together. That's why. Detective, wait. God. Don't bother trying to administer medical aid. He's gone. The city isn't yours anymore. Someone wrote that in his blood. Probably while he was pleading for his life. Fuck! Don't be sorry. This guy was an idiot. And I always hated his dumb, ugly mug, but by God, he was one of mine. And whoever did this has no idea how badly they've messed up by trying to send their little message here. You were right. They did want to draw me out. Which means there's a good chance they'll be gunning for me eventually. If it's personal, they'll take my boys first. They might even... No. If they try to mess with... I'll kill them. It's not important. What is important is that I'm not taking my eyes off of you. Now that we're in this together. We've been seen together, and that may be more than enough for them to try and attack you to get to me. We both have targets on our back, detective. Are you going to protect and serve, or are you going to go out guns blazing and die in a pool of your own blood like Greg here? Yeah. We gotta get our story straight, you're right. I'll have questions. I'll handle that part. There's no reason for you to drag your name through the mud. It's really nice of you. You're a class act to cover him up with your jacket, detective. I appreciate it. Now sit down. You're starting to faint. And if I lose you before this crazy adventure even begins to a damned heart attack, I'm going to be rightfully pissed off. Yeah. They got Greg. Send my condolences and an appropriate severance compensation package to his wife and kid, will you? Thanks, Harry. Huh? I can't really talk about that, Harry. Well, 'cause she's sitting a few feet away. Yes, she looks good, Harry. I gotta go. God, what is wrong with him? I swear to God, the people in my family drive me insane. At least I got some peace with you. Oh, I don't doubt that it won't last, beautiful. Not for a second. Yeah, I've already contacted his family. Don't worry. I know. His blood is on my hands. Trust me. I know. God. And with the guilt trips. You'd think the wives of men who went into this sort of business might understand that their husbands coming home from supper ain't always a guaranteed thing. What about you, detective? What kind of man did you picture stealing your heart one day, Never thought about romance much. No? No thoughts of dashing rogue sweeping you off your feet? A golden retriever boyfriend always happy to see you when you get home? Or maybe you're the type that likes a brooding intellectual. Why am I so interested in your love life? It's fun to piss you off, mostly. Seeing that nose scrunch up and those beautiful eyes glare with such conviction. Please, you think that if I really had the hots for you, I couldn't do something about it? I've wooed much colder hearts than yours, my dear. I suppose I could find camaraderie in you. That's hard to find somewhere else. You should hole up at my place for a while, detective. Look, beautiful, angel, sweetheart, life of my life, I get it. You're the last person I'd want to have to go toe-to-toe with in armed or unarmed combat. But you don't negate bullets. From what I've heard, it sounds like Greg got done in by a sniper shot from a good distance away. That means you could be doing your morning jog or simply leaning outdoors to get paper and bang. Dead. Just like that. No, as a matter of fact, it would not make my life easier if you took a shot to the frontal lobe. Listen to me, detective. I get it. You don't understand me. You don't understand what I really want. At the end of the day, and to be frank, I don't either. I know what I want, but that shit can't happen. So how's about instead of you trying to understand some dumbass that barely understands himself, you understand this? I want no harm to come to you. I never thought of you as my enemy, detective. I don't think there's anyone in this crooked city that would mourn the loss of you like I would, or it to ever pass. I know you don't like me, but I have a more secure home with on-staff medical care and metal shutters that can come down at the moment of notice. It's literally a fortress. Look, you tell your boss what you have to do. You're going undercover with the crime lord to catch your perp. Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. So long as you come home with me, and I'm content. Well, here we are. Home sweet home. And don't get them tangled in a bunch. Come on, sweetheart. A little bit of the fancy life ain't gonna kill you. Here, allow me. Let's see. The kitchen is that way. Your room will have a phone in it so you can just call and place an order for whatever. Same goes for clothes, toiletries, or whatever you need. As a matter of fact, I was quite confident you'd say yes to working together after a little bit of whining and dining. I wasn't expecting a man to have to die for it to happen, but honestly, it's been a long night. I'm sure you probably want to get some sleep. Follow me. Here, your room, detective. Too fancy. Gosh, I mean, well, you could always share a bed with me if... Chill. Gosh, feisty. Can't blame a guy for trying, can you? One of these days, a drop-dead gorgeous woman will respond with, yes, actually. And whoever the guy that got away with it is going to absolutely have no idea what to do with himself. Can you ask something? Of course. I've told you already why you hold my interest, detective. God, you don't listen very well, do you? I see. But you want the real reason. Because you know I'm not the sort to typically chase after a pretty face. If said face is all I want. Come inside with me. I don't like talking out in open hallways. A few years back, you had a case. One of your first few. Nothing stellar, just some low-grade white crime. You caught the guy easily enough, and it turned out that said guy was just some 18-year-old dropout trying to get by. Do you remember that? Yeah, well, that kid was my little brother. Or someone I considered like one. After you spooked him off, he came to me and said he was done with this life and wanted out. Normally, that'd be my cue to put a bullet between his eyes, but I couldn't deny him that rage. He wanted to fight for a better life outside of the family. So, I gave it to him. We haven't spoken since. He made it clear that my bullshit had nearly ruined his life and he was done with me. Shit hurt. Hurt enough that there was a part of me that wanted to make this little detective who had scared off one of my best men pay for taking away part of my family. But then I realized that you'd managed to do what I failed to do for most of my career. Give them a better shot. I'll admit, there were a few nights where I entertained the thought of returning the favor to you, But anytime I'd catch you from afar, you had this sad, tired smile, and I knew that I'd made a mistake in my assessment of you. You pushed him on a better path, and it made me realize that even if the people that make up my family are a bunch of numbskulls, I do want what's best for them. I don't know how to tell them that or motivate them like you do, and, well, I admire that. Detective, I admire you. You should get some rest, Detective. I imagine that we'll need to move some of your more personal effects over. So I sent a crew to your house to load up on any essentials. I am a true gentleman, aren't I? Look, I know you, at least a little bit. I know you'll feel better if we at least get your dust mop of an old cat settled in over the night. He'll get plenty of treats, I assure you. Fuck, who is it? Hello? What? Jerry? I'm with you-know-who. God. This guy's working fast if he's already hit up her place. Listen, did you at least manage to get the things I requested? Yes, the cat, the photo albums, anything irreplaceable or sentimental seeming. Okay, good, good. Thanks, Jerry. Get it in the truck and get the hell out of there before the psycho decides he wants more violence tonight. Well, good news and bad news. The bad news is that whoever wants me dead, they apparently lit your house on fire while we were relocating. The good news, your cat and all the sentimental stuff is okay. I made sure. Hey, come on now. Hey. Shh, it's okay. Look. I get it. I know. You've barely been seen with me and you're already suffering the consequences. That bodes poorly. I've had people hate me. Hell, you're a world champion at it, but whoever this is, they clearly want to provoke me into being reckless, just like you said. Detective, I'm sorry about your home. I have a lot of enemies, and I'm sure most of them would delight in seeing me dead, but enemies that would actually ever make an active move against me? That would draw blood? That's a lot harder. It's like trying to pick out the rabid dog in an already feral pack. Don't know until his jaws are around you and you're staring death in the face. Alright, let's start at the beginning. This is personal. This couldn't be any more personal if the jackass hired a hot air balloon banner just to tell me that I was some schmuck. That helps narrow it. Because there are only a few people on this planet that hate me enough to declare war. Yes, well, you were one of them. I'd wondered, briefly, if you'd finally snapped and started trying things my way. But tonight has shown me that you're innocent. So, 4. 3 of them are old rivals that I managed to get a leg over throughout the years, and they're still very much so salty about that. God. The only other one is your old police chief. Yeah, Captain Jenkins. That old blowhard who swore he'd clean the city of criminal scum like yours truly, and had to eat a crow every single time someone asked him when the streets would be safe to walk again. It'd been, 10 years until that point that I'd gotten a cop mad enough to draw a gun and threaten to kill me where I stood. I still can't believe they made the old fart retire just for that. Honestly, I thought it took a lot more to really make a cop retire, you know? I suppose we'll find out soon enough. At the rate this maniac is going, things are moving quick. Detective, you've had a long day. Try and rest. Run a bubble bath or something. You deserve it. It's me. Brought you some coffee. Oh, still in your PJs, huh? I mean, I'm in mine and shirtless. I'm not about to judge. Quit being such a big baby and take your damn coffee. Sheesh. You wear an oversized t-shirt like a ball gown, detective. God damn. Hey, I'm focused. I'm focused. You look like you haven't slept. A night of luxury and you bury your nose right back into work and ignore everything else? You know what you need? No. But I'll be happy to get you some aspirin in a bit. Nah. What you need is a big party. A chance to let loose and just relax. Look, detective. I want this guy caught as badly, if not more so than you do. But I need you at your best, detective. Not when you're a shaking bundle of sleepless nerves ready to haymaker any schmuck that looks like they're gonna cop an attitude or anything like that. You can't kill yourself this way. You think I don't know what it looks like when a woman with a broken heart works herself to death? I watched my mother do it. All to avoid grief. All because she thought she wasn't worthy of simple things like frolicking or fun. But I'm not about to watch it again. I'm taking your coffee back. I'm going to get you some tea instead. And you're going to sleep in. And then you're going to dress up really pretty for our party tonight. That way you can eat, drink, and try to be merry. Do you understand? Yeah? Oh, detective. I'm aware I'm a malicious asshole. Now let me go get your tea. and then I want you in bed again and sleeping. Alright, Grumparella? You're going to the ball with your oh-so-charming prince tonight. The guest of the evening. Detective. Look. Wow. It was a compliment. You do know what a compliment is, right, doll? Excuse us, my esteemed guest. I did promise my attention to the lady of the evening, but we'll catch up later, eh? Detective, you look divine. I almost got myself sent to hell by commenting openly in front of a woman I consider like my nana. You know, she did give me the slipper, but good if I commented on a beautiful woman in a crude way in front of her. Why, thank you. I did wear my favorite suit for the occasion. Now, I thought about going casual, but, well, I didn't want you to feel overdressed, of course. Shall we dance, detective? Oh, look at you, having fun. Oh, of course not. Big mean detective doesn't want to have fun. She eats bowls of nails for breakfast and wrestles crocodiles instead of jogging in the morning, right? That was almost a smile. It's nice to have you home, detective. No, I did not. This is not a setup. Keep your voice down. It was a poor choice of words, okay? No. You're not going back to your room. Damn it. Just wait a damn minute and talk to me in private, will you? Here, just this room. Detective, will you calm down, please? What did I say that got you so offended? I'm fully aware this isn't your home. And I'm fully aware that you lost your home, alright? I get it. It was crappy, insensitive, it was a stupid thing to say, but by God. Can't a man just be happy for the company of someone he cares for? I'm sorry for everything you're going through, detective. Truly, I am. I did just throw this party to help you relax, okay? I might not be the most emotionally open man on the planet, but I know how to keep the mood light at least. I swear, there's no tricks, no ulterior motive. I promise. Look, we're both on edge, okay? It hasn't even been a full day since the incident, and I know your boss is probably breathing down your neck to get results. All I'm asking is that you take the night off from me. Relax. Even if it's just for an hour or two. Do you think you can do that? Because, detective, you're gonna die of the stress if you keep pushing yourself like this, and I don't want to watch another beautiful heart die in this awful fucking goddamn city. Not yours. Especially not After what you've given me so much. What have you given me? Detective, that's none of your damned business. Oh, God. Jeez, you are so beautiful. I'm sure I'm making you uncomfortable. I'm sorry for that. I'm not sorry that I can't look away from you. What I wouldn't give to make a world worth you. Why do you always ask that? Why do you assume that every word out of my mouth is another ploy to toy with you or upset you? Why do you think I want nothing more than to torment and break you? Oh, 'cause I said it. Well, my mouth says a lot of stupid shit on my behalf. So how's about I let the truth out for once by not saying anything at all and... Detective. There. That's the truth. Everything in that kiss is the truth. In a way that I can't say with regular old words. I might not act it, but I cherish the people that I've grown to consider a part of my odd little family, and like it or not, you got adopted a long time ago. The boys had a bet on how long it'd take mommy and daddy to stop fighting. God, I reckon Ricky probably just earned himself about 10,000 big ones. Hey, are you okay? Hello, Earth to Detective. Come on, I know I'm a good kisser, but... Hey! Detective! Detective! Detective, come on! Come on! You gotta stop the bleeding, baby! You gotta hold your hand. Right here, right here. Keep the pressure on the wound. I'll call Dr. Mercer. Can you do that? No, 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 don't you dare. Don't you fucking do this to me. Not after I finally told you everything. Don't do this to me. Don't you fucking die on me. Hey, detective, come on, detective, come on, you gotta stop the bleeding, baby, you gotta stop the bleeding, baby, hold your hand, keep the pressure on your hand, I'll call Dr. Mercer, I'll call Dr. Mercer, no, do that, no, don't you dare, no, don't you dare. Hey, there you are, beautiful. Right. Don't flirt with you when you're injured. Got it. Dumb question, but how do you feel? What happened? Well, it's a blur, to be honest. 1 second I was holding you in my arms, and the next, bang. You stumbled back and fell over, and I don't know. I haven't panicked like that in a good many years, detective. But when I saw the blood, And you scared the living daylights out of me. As soon as you started to get up and started swearing like a sailor and grabbing the gun you apparently had strapped to your hip this entire time under that dress, you fired off a couple shots right before passing out. You know, Detective, I've never seen you murderous before. No, I'm not judging you for it. If I'd been thinking rationally, then I might have done the exact same thing. The boys investigated, and it looks like there was some blood splatter running down one of the north garden walls. It's not a good sniper position. Which makes you also think that the person who's doing this may not actually be that good with guns. Especially considering they hit your shoulder. Nothing vital. If this idiot of ours does want to make me mad enough that I throw caution to the wind and go out guns blazing, and I suspect he would have gone for a kill shot. We got swabs of blood sent for DNA testing, yeah. A bit muddled among the grime and what was left, but hopefully it's a start. No one else got shot at or hurt. Again. It makes me think that this guy isn't thinking particularly rationally and is operating on a simple desire. Hurt somebody as badly as he can before he takes over my goddamn city. I've got this place on lockdown for now. Guards swarming every square inch that they can to make sure this doesn't happen again. I don't even understand how the psychopath managed to shoot through one of my windows. See? It's ballistic glass. Bulletproof, supposedly. Huh? This kind of glass can only tank a 50 caliber round shot? Detective. Smart as always. These were the rounds that were found near the blood trail. I'd never seen shells that big before. They don't look like the standard 50 cals. Hold on, what? Excuse me? Are you sure you're not just tired? This is ammunition for an elephant gun? You mean like a gun that's powerful enough to have words with a fully grown elephant and win? What the fuck? That's insane. That kind of recoil could break even a bodybuilder's shoulder if not held correctly. And even that... God, this is just making things more confusing. No, Detective, I'm trying to think who I could have pissed off that badly. It's not like I go out of my way to make enemies. Profession aside. The only person I actively antagonize as well. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I know. I'm an ass. Forget all of this, Detective. You just woke up. Can I get you anything? Water, some aspirin. The painkillers that the doctor prescribed while your shoulder heals up are pretty strong, so if you want to head back to sleep for a few more hours. Detective. Stop. Please. Just... Even when I thought you were dying, you still got up and tried to finish the job. I thought you were dying in my arms. Why did I kiss you? Is that really the most pertinent thing to ask right now? God, I mean... It's because I'm attracted to you. Does it need to be any more complex than that? Oh, detective, I am aware there are plenty of other beautiful women in the city who might look at me a bit more fondly, yeah? No games, detective. No manipulation, no lies. I'm just as vulnerable to you right now as you are to me. How do I think this is going to end? I assumed that we'd find our perp, you'd put him away, and then you'd go on with your life and forget I ever darkened your doorway. I mean, come on, angel face. Do you seriously think I'm sitting here getting my hopes up? I know our time together is limited. I'm normally a cold man, detective, but I'm still human. I still crave companionship from someone I feel could understand me and what I stand for. I guess despite you hating my guts, I feel... I don't know. I think about you all the time. And when I don't think about you, I think about these silly little daydreams where you retire from the force or I retire from the family. A few years pass, we don't talk, and then one day, I see you just relaxing at some coffee shop somewhere in the city. You're finally sitting down and reading all the books you buy but never get the chance to read, and you're smiling. I'd think about it. Then I'd walk up and say hello. We'd reconnect over coffee. Probably tea, but if you really prefer coffee, we could try that. Maybe laugh about the past a little, and then I could work up the nerve to actually ask you out on an official date. And, well, who knows? I should let you rest. I'll try and get the lab to expedite the results on the blood we found. It's still a crime scene, and I've asked that it stay preserved until you can personally look at it. So, whenever you find you can get up, I'll be waiting. Detective, glad to see you up. The crime scene has been kept as untouched as possible, but we don't exactly have the same resources as the police do. From what I can see, There's some scuffs on top of the wall and a blood trail dripping down it. A few splatters further into the woods, but then it fades. Either he patched himself up or got creative in staunching any bullet wounds. And these footsteps look familiar to you. I look like a drunk person? What do you mean? Like somebody who's intoxicated? I see what you mean. Liquid courage, you think? I beg your pardon? No, detective. I don't dabble in the drug trade. I'm offended that you think I'm that sort of criminal scum. Yeah, okay, fair point. No drugs. I don't want that level of mess on my doorstep. I run businesses across the city and I keep people that would see those businesses fail in line. No more, no less. Okay, I'm following your logic. You've seen plenty of addicts try and kill their dealers or whoever was sponsoring their dealers for revenge or more product. Fair. And you think this guy was on something more than not street legal from the gouges on the ground. So, a safe assumption is that this guy is more than likely acting on pure emotion and is either erratic or over-medicated, or is just a proxy for someone else. What do you think? I think you're right. We won't know until we get those lab results back. And that's gonna take at least a few weeks, even with my connections. But right now, I think the best thing we can do is lay low and see if this crazy bastard decides to become bold again. There's nothing more that we can do. Detective, you're still wounded. Enough! No. You're not going to look around for a little longer on your own. You're going back inside and getting some rest. Do you think I have the time to be worrying about you taking another shot? What if I hadn't been there the first time? That room is normally isolated. You could have... You might not have gotten shot if I hadn't forced you to be there in the first place. And a real class act still trying to control you when I almost got you killed in the first place. You want me to go inside and leave you alone so you can do your job? Fine, you're right. Detective, the lab results are here. You're gonna want to see them, I think. How have I been? What do you care? Sorry, I don't mean to be snappy, but I've been keeping busy and trying to give you your space these last few weeks while we waited for the results. I didn't know what to say to you after our little spat. And I didn't want you to be in anyone's theoretical scope while I sorted out my emotions. No, detective, don't apologize for snapping at me. I had already pushed you well beyond the acceptable for my own selfish purpose. I just didn't see the full weight of it until I saw you bleed. It's almost surreal to know someone like you can even bleed in the first place. Bleeding is so human. I know you're human, detective. Trust me. I know. But I thought the same thing the first time I saw my favorite boxer go down in the ring. It just seemed impossible for a force of nature like that to be injured, much less knocked out in one swing. Don't let me waxing philosophical stop you from reviewing the evidence. I can stand aside. Is everything okay, detective? What's that look on your face? No. I don't know. Who is that? Damon? Is that our perp? Excuse me? Oh, hold on, detective. You're telling me you know him because he's your ex? Okay. Right. Okay, I'm following. So, to be clear, you dated this guy a few years back before you joined the force. He got a little crazy and a whole lot of possessive and jealous, so you broke it off. And then you had to deal with him stalking you even after you surrounded yourself with cops. Okay. That explains some things, but there's something very wrong about this whole equation. Exactly. He's tied exclusively to you. What business would he have coming after someone like me? No one knows we're affiliated outside of your boss. I don't exactly make a habit out of making my feelings known either. Even those closest to me think my feelings are a lot more malicious than they truly are. Anyway, do you have a picture of this guy? You don't look like the sentimental type, but the one you used to show the other officers so they could keep an eye out. Sure, that works. Wait, hold on. I do know this guy. Yeah. He's a frequent visitor at one of the bars I have an investment in. Bartenders always complain he's coming in off his ass on one thing or another, asking about some lady. I remember him. And now that I do, I think I know why he's targeting me. I never knew the little shit's name. I knew you had an ex because of him, though. See, I ran into him one night not that long ago. There had been complaints about this weirdo, and I had figured, hey, I had a free night, why not set it creep straight? So I took him to my office and had a chat. And that chat turned into a fist fight when I realized what woman he was talking about, so detestably. Oh, nah. I beat him so bad he could hardly stand up. I probably went too far, admittedly, but hearing your name in his mouth, I lost it. I think he probably ended up swallowing some of his own teeth by the time I was done with him, to be honest. But I couldn't let go. So I might have told him that he wasn't to talk to my woman ever again. He went real quiet after that. Thought it was really hitting, but yes, I am more than aware that you aren't my woman. But I also did say that I wasn't exactly thinking the best at the time. Didn't realize I was that protective of you until that night, if I'm being honest. And you're telling me this guy's an ex-Marine. Right, so what does that mean? He's an actual threat when he stays sober? Okay, but ex-Marine or not, how does this guy have access to an elephant gun? Those caliber of rounds are well past illegal in this country. He must be getting them from an outside source. Oh, that does make sense. If somebody had some beef with me, and they'd benefit from taking me down, they're the ones who were supplying him with ammunition. I think I know who might have the balls to try to use this tragedy to get to me. Do you know how mafia families work, detective? From a top-down level. Right. At the top, you have the Don or the boss, and then the underboss or the second in command, and then a counselor, and so on. If I had to make an educated guess, I'd say we're dealing with my ex-counselor, aka the worst little brother a guy could have the misfortune to have by him and his mother's arms. Micah. Was a good kid. Was being the key word there. And then one day, I don't know. It's like he watched one too many gangster movies and thought, you know, that was real life. Started emulating the dress and the behavior of those psychopaths. Justified himself killing multiple targets that could have been spared or put to better use. I cut him out when he tried to look me in the eye and claimed that his last kill was necessary. No, it was just some dumb kid that flipped him off in traffic. That's it. Dumb kid wasn't even in a car. He was just trying to skirt his bike around Micah's big truck and flipped him off when Micah honked at him. Before I could even blink, he had rolled down the window and blown the kid's head off, and the driver was peeling away faster than I could scream to stop. I told my brother he was dead to me when we got back. Dressed him down in front of the whole family until he was sobbing like a child himself. Cut off all of his funds and credit cards. I stripped him of every bit of power and wealth he had. And I told him to take a hike with nothing but the clothes on his back. That was years ago. I'd hoped that I'd beaten him down enough that he wouldn't be stupid enough to cross me again. That asshole. He always did know how to really make it hurt. Of course. Of course he'd go after you. He knows there aren't many others that would actually hurt me. Or anything else that I would feel pain to lose. I can easily see a scenario where the opportunistic, sick vulture would take advantage of your crazy ex and try to literally kill two birds with one stone. He takes you out, he knows I'll be vulnerable. Probably has plans to swoop back in and take the family back by force while I'm grieving. No chance the place is bugged. I've had sweeps done daily since you got here, just in case. What do you recommend we do, detective? Play along? Really? How? You think we should just play along then? As in, pretend like you've caught feelings for me, and then in return fake your death and crush Micah and your ex when they try to swoop in on the assumption that I'll be sobbing over your loss? I gotta be frank with you, detective. It's a bold move, yes. But it's not how I do things. No. Listen to me, alright? I am a man of action, detective. The kind of man that will always be in the front lines, never hiding behind his army or forcing them to do work that he wouldn't do personally, while pretending to be in the morning might lure Micah and Damien into acting more aggressively. I'd much rather them know that I am absolutely unbothered by their cowardly mind games. Give me 24 hours. That's more than enough to start cutting off whatever shitty little Hydra heads Micah has acquired in these last few years. Okay, fine. So Hydra heads grow back. Bad analogy. Unless... you remember the way to kill a Hydra is by striking the heart. Detective, wakey wakey. Come on, pretty girl. I know someone trying not to get out of bed when I see it. Okay, well, if you're gonna lie there looking so pretty, then I guess I'll just have to keep complimenting you. Damn. She'd rather get up and face the day than have a loving gentleman tell her how beautiful she is. You are unbelievable. No, I wanted you awake. I invited you to my office to show you how I handle business. I told you, 24 hours and I'd get results. I found one of Micah's little criminal buddies snooping about easily enough. Here we are, my dear. Please don't mind the metal door too much, even though it is glaringly out of fashion compared to the rest of the decor. Of course it needs to be metal, detective. We don't want noise escaping after all. It can be very unpleasant when sound leaks in this house. Now, if you would, step inside, we can get to work. There you are, you little rat. You really thought you could get away from me. God, you are so adorable for doing that. No, shh, calm down. You're all bloated, right? We're well beyond the point in asking for mercy. What are you looking at right now? Detective. This is one of Micah's informants that we caught trying to set up recording equipment at one of my favorite drinking spots. Thought you were real smart, didn't you? Well, don't you worry. I brought a whole bag full of toys for us to share, my friend. Since you were so eager for a play date. You poor boy. I see people like you every day. Boys that think they can play a man's game. Run with the big dogs. Let me guess. You needed the money. Micah offered you the good stuff if you comply. Or does he have some dirt on you that you can't ignore? What is it? I don't need him to actually talk to get what I need, detective. I just need him to nod yes or shake his head no. Think you can follow kindergarten instructions and do that for me, my dear little brother? No, don't mind me, detective. Just searching through some old dental tools to find the right one to make this playdate truly magical. My friend, how's your dental hygiene? I find that a lot of men in our line of work really neglect their dental hygiene. And honestly, you look like the chewing tobacco sort. In fact, Paulie said you had breath like you ate dead skunks as a hobby, so why don't we just take a look? Detective, my methods might be extreme, sweetheart, but I promise they'll get results a lot faster than whatever bullshit they teach you in police academy. Now, which teeth do you value the most? Or, if you really want to keep your full set of chompers, could get you a little mani-pedi with these tools. You might find it difficult to pick things up or walk, but... No? Okay then, if you really want to keep majority of your limbs, I suggest you play nice. Think you can be a good boy and do that for me? Good. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask you some simple questions and you're going to either nod yes or shake your head no. Think you can do that? Good. We'll start simple. Do you know a man named Micah, or perhaps a Damon? Good, good. Look at you. Fan-fiddly fucking tastic. Do you work for them? Micah and Damon? No, okay. Then I'm guessing just Micah, right? Damon is just some extra batshit insane muscle. See, you're doing great. You know, I super appreciate your cooperation, my guy. Especially in front of such a beautiful lady. You wouldn't happen to recognize her, do you? Oh, you do? Is that because Micah plans to bring harm to her? Oh, come on, now. You were doing so well. See, I didn't want to do that, kiddo. I really didn't. Especially not in front of her. But if you want to live through this, I suggest you learn how to play this game properly. Good boy. Detective, would you be a love and hand me the first aid kit from that bag? I think he might be hurt a little bit. And I don't want blood getting everywhere. Thank you, my sweet. Here, you big baby, hold still. You're gonna need, no, actually, you're not gonna need any stitches. How about this? You want a dinosaur band-aid or a sugar plum princess one? Sugar plum it is. There we go. Good as new. Now, let's have a chat, shall we? There we go. Well, I mean, your mouth got a little messed up and you'll definitely need to see a dentist to get all that fixed. You provided me with a wealth of information tonight. However, so I'll tell you what. If you can find out Micah's next move for me, and be a good little mole for just a bit, I'll pay to get you fixed up. Not if you agree. And God help if you think you can betray me. Good boy. One moment. John, get this guy to Dr. Steven pronto. It's on my tab, whatever he needs. Detective, come with me, please. Shh, come here. I know, it was awful. And as much as I hate to do it, it's simply how things are handled on my side of the crime line. Darling, I know I play up the sadism and the big mean bully act, but I mean, God, I don't hurt people if I can help it. If I didn't feel that way, I'd have plenty of opportunities to show it. Detective, listen to me, please. You have a good heart and a lot of empathy for people. I know that you believe that anyone can be helped at your core. Even monsters like me, right? Well, people like me don't change until we've hit rock bottom. People like me always have something to prove or some power to rage against or some new scam to run. You don't talk a feral dog down. You can't. You are so beautiful. You know that? Yes, I know I tell you every day, and I know that you flip the double bird at me back the second it turns with some extreme gusto. And it's cute to get a reaction out of the mighty detective, but I've enjoyed our time together. Bloody and drama-filled as it has been, having you around is like having an art installation that wasn't ruined by the city or the public. Detective, if I didn't recognize you as human, why would I be lying next to you and holding you while you're doing your best to not feel like shit for not jumping in to help him? You aren't fighting me as much. Does that mean you're starting to be a little bit more fond of me? This is nice, you know. It's nice to have you at my side after such an unpleasant experience. I'm just sorry that I managed to upset you so badly. Poor thing. You're shaking. Yes, detective. I'm aware. It's a natural reaction to seeing something like that, quite frankly. I hope you never have to see anything that unpleasant ever again. I'd much rather you see a beautiful world. It's the least that you deserve. Detective, you deserve everything. I hope I can give you that once and for all. Yeah, I'm still asleep. Detective. Detective, what's going on out there? Hey, what are you doing raising your hands at her? Detective, detective, stop. Detective, stop. He's not moving. Jeez. What happened? Did he hurt you? Threaten you? That was our mole? Oh, Lenny, you dumb bastard. Let me see your hands. No, beautiful, let me see your hands. I think you took off some of the skin from your knuckles hitting him that much. Breathe, detective. It's okay. Lenny's been with the family for a long time. Blowing his head off without questioning him further could deny us any advantage of dealing with our attackers. I'm being too soft. Alright. That's a red flag waving rapidly in my face. It's telling me that this has gone way too far. Alright, I get it. You've lost a lot because of me and how I've handled things. Look, detective, I understand that you're angry. I understand that you've lost your home and a lot of sentimental things. But I'm trying to help you, detective. I'm trying to save your life. Don't say that. Don't you ever talk like that. Like you don't care if you're alive or dead ever again. Because if you feel like that, it means I'm failing you. And God, if I'm failing you, then what good am I? I should have never fallen in love with you. I know that. But I'm human, detective. Just like you. All I found myself wanting at the end of the day was a family that loved me like I loved them. And as I lose more and more of these men and women, I'm coming to the realization that people like me, we're just not allowed to be happy. Don't. You don't need to come for me. Why would you? You deal with delusional people every single day. And I somehow thought it'd be different with me. I thought even if I was trash, I'd somehow be able to give you a happier life. A life where your chest didn't hurt with stress. A life where you could relax and feel safe and appreciated. Why you? Are you serious? A real-life superhero that sticks by their principles and genuinely wants to help people. You'd have to be an idiot to not see all of that, and then realize the person who embodies said values is drop-dead gorgeous. Has a cute little sneer when annoyed. You really don't know how to handle someone loving you, do you? Well, me neither. I can act suave and confident, and I am, but I know the type I attract. They tend to either be after my life or my money. The man in the middle of that is rarely of interest to them. I feel a connection with you that I can't explain. It's pathetic, but anytime I see you, I want to hold you and have you hold me. And we could just be less lonely together. I'd tell you about my day and you'd let me lay on your lap and whisper, I understand. And then I would do the same for you. God, detective. Petting my hair like that is a very dangerous thing to do. No, not because I'll put a hit on you for it. Not funny, by the way. I'm barely controlling myself right now. But I have to. The last time I gave in, you got hurt. Of course, I'm still freaked out about that. God, you could have bled out in my arms if the glass hadn't slowed some of the impact down. I had just kissed you with everything I had in me, and I was terrified. I was sure the universe would deny me a chance to be happy, even if it was just for less than a minute. And I was right. It was foolish of me to think that I could be happy. I mean, gosh, how would I ever make you happy when I can barely justify dragging myself around? Detective, you're hugging me. Are you about to kill me or something? Because I'm going to have to mildly protest if this hug is a gateway towards murder. No, I'm not going to question it. I feel like a guy a few inches from a deer, desperately trying not to scare it off. I've got you. It's okay. No, detective. You have nothing to apologize for, sweetheart. Sure, you yelled at me, but it wasn't anything that wasn't true or that I didn't need to hear. Even when you hate me, you're still so much kinder and honest than most people ever try to be. Maybe one day, I'll be someone you can associate with without disgust. Who knows? I never thought we'd get as far as a hug, much less a passionate kiss. You can ask me for anything, detective. Certainly not just one thing. What do I want? I want to get to know you better. Part of me thought, hey, the magic will wear off once we spend enough time together, right? Enough time with anyone is usually the quickest way to figure out you'd rather eat an ant colony than room with them, but I just find myself wanting to know more about you. Wanting to ask about those cute pajamas you wear. Ask about the band t-shirts you have that all seem to be old metal bands. You're fascinating, you know? I know. I know a man who really does want to get to know your personality. Shocking, shocking, I say. Hey, that was a smile with a little smack to my arm, Missy. Look, you and I, we got off on the wrong foot. The worst foot. The one that got eaten by a crocodile in Florida type of foot. What do you say to, I don't know, giving this being human to one another thing a try? Who knows how long we're going to have together, detective? Why not seize the opportunity to get to know a mysterious and handsome criminal, Get spoiled in the process with nice food, and maybe I'll end up buying you some new pajamas. Though, the ones you do have do look comfy, admittedly. Though I'm pretty sure some of those t-shirts have become moth buffets. You're beautiful. You know that? And I'm not too bad, you guess. Well, damn. Should I just go and pick out a wedding ring right now? That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. You really think I'm not such a bad guy? You could very well easily see yourself choosing my life if things had gone differently, huh? You know, I did used to consider being a cop, but with my temper? No, the streets need people like you. People with big hearts and steel spines. They don't need another man angry at the world. And that's how it becomes their problem. Even when it shouldn't be. What? Where are you going suddenly? You gotta get back to work? But detective, we were just cuddling. I don't... Okay. Okay. I'll get Lenny cuffed, but... Jeez, she's already gone. Detective, you drive me crazy. Come in. Detective. Thank you for coming on such short notice. I wanted to follow up from this morning, considering you made a very important discovery. Please, have a seat. Can I get you something to eat or drink? Right to business. Very well. Listen, the short of it is that Lenny was indeed acting as a mole. Apparently he had some old loyalties to my little brother that he felt he needed to repay before being in the clear. One of those was trying to call in an attempt on my life, should the opportunity arise. I'm not well, but thank you for asking. It's always difficult to find out how much stabbing you in the back is worth to someone, you know? And while Lenny and I have come to an agreement that allows him to keep his life, I can't say that I'm not disappointed in my family. The letters on my desk are all from our culprits. The nicer looking writing is my little shit brother sending orders in code, mostly. The way he writes them, I think he must have gotten into drill rap or something. Dude's using lots of UK slang. Honestly, it's interesting. He always saw himself as more of a generic American gangster, but who am I to tell him how to act? These other ones, they're from your ex. I know you're curious, but I don't want you reading them. It's not about doing your job or not doing your job, detective. This is about you, as a human being. Having letters written to you that describe things so awful that even my stomach turned. This is beyond the normal amounts of crazy that I tend to deal with. This guy is so far gone that he swapped perspective 4 times in one letter. Your ex is a wild card. While I know I can deal with Micah, he's easy enough to bait out on his pride, but this guy, he's an ex-Marine with clear sniper practice. He's completely unhinged and seems, I don't know, he seems to think for some reason that he can intimidate you into panicking and running back into his arms. Why? I have no clue. Yeah, I guess. I did probably scare the hell out of him when I beat him up, one-on-one. But between the two of us, he's really picking poorly. You have every reason in the world to not hold back on him anymore. No question. What are my thoughts on navigating this? Well, to be completely honest, your chief hasn't been super helpful. Whether he's jealous of you or hates me enough that he'd gladly let me take a bullet, I'm not sure. Micah is easy to bait out because, again, he seems to idolize the standard gangsta lifestyle. There seems to be an unspoken rule about disrespect and not taking it, even when it's in your best interest. But like I said, I'm really out of depth when it comes to your ex. What about you? What are your thoughts? I mean, God, I agree. They both need to get their asses beat, but let's look into something more, I don't know, immediate in the future, Right, so dude is super jealous, possessive, and doesn't accept reality. I mean, I gathered as much, considering he seems to still think you're together. Really? You only got him to act up by getting him jealous. Really? Interesting. And with him, let me guess, it turned out to be like anything you did. Well, I mean, realistically, there's two ways we could go about this then. That's one, yeah. We could bait them out individually, but they might not buy it. Micah may not. Anywho, if we cost him his murderous wild card, then he may just retaliate even more violently. No. I think the only way to nip this in the bud at this point is to convince Micah that you're what he really wants at the end of the day. Detective, trust me. I hate the idea. I hate the notion of sharing you, regardless. But I can at least keep my demons in check. But Micah, he would fall for it. Because he's hell-bent on hurting me. He's trying in the most personal way that he possibly can, and he's selfish. He'd outright betray your ex to get you, if he felt like it would hurt me the worst. And if that happens, well, honestly, I expect them to tear each other apart. Look, I know it's not ideal, detective. Trust me. We can't just sit here and wait for another bullet to eventually catch us off guard. Once was already far too many times. This level of aggression they're showing, I can't ignore it. We have to retaliate with similar aggression, or we need to use, I don't know, a trick. Somehow making them think that we're unbothered and too into each other to care about them straight up trying to kill us. Here, detective. Give me your hand. I know that the idea of trusting me is still one that isn't the most exciting one. Hell, the fact you've allowed me this close still makes me giggle like I'm in high school. Of course, right, you were the weird goth kid in school. I can totally see that, to be honest. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was the popular jackass that had a hardcore thing for pretty, scowling goth girls. As a matter of fact, I did a little danger flirting in my day. Look, I can't help being a man of superior taste at the end of the day. A beauty is one thing, but a beauty that could potentially render you helpless with a few sarcastic biting words. Yes, please. More of that. All of that. Thank you. Detective, if you go back to your goth roots, then I really am going to forget about this whole murder plot. Like, I will actually lose every single brain cell I haven't allocated to other things. But I do know a specialty shop that has very high quality clothing for creatures of the night. Are you serious? Yeah, I'd love to take you shopping one of these days. You've been great company. And it feels like it'd be a good way to help you relax. If you wanted. You deserve to relax. And I could use some time to spoil you to make myself feel just a little bit more useful than I've felt in weeks. I want to show my appreciation to you, one way or another. And if some nice clothes is a good start, well, this morning? What about it? When we were cuddling, I figured you were still sort of upset over that. Detective, look. This doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be a whole thing where we question every single thing that the other person does and what it means. We're adults. You know how I feel about you. And this whole scenario. At the present, I want this to last as long as it can, without anyone getting hurt. I know this won't be a permanent arrangement. I know that. Once this is sorted, we'll have to say goodbye, and there's every chance in the world that we won't ever be allowed to acknowledge the other. I'm not deluding myself anymore. Sweetheart, come on. We both know that. Whatever is happening here, it won't last. It can't. You're a cop, for fuck's sake, and a good one. And I'm a criminal, no matter how many different ways you try to look at it. Give me your hand, detective. But I can enjoy it while it lasts. Can't I? I appreciate it. As much as I do enjoy our verbal sparring, you being nice to me is... it's nice. I'm surprised I didn't have a heart attack too. I was sure that pigs would start flying and spaghetti monsters would descend upon the streets, their killer sauce ready to dominate the world. Maybe hell froze over, who knows? I don't exactly have old Lucifer on speed dial, despite popular belief. What do you say we make plans for Friday to check out that little shopping spot together? That way we can enjoy a nice lunch beforehand. I was thinking the nice new hot pot place downtown, but I am open to suggestions. Oh shit, well damn, detective. Fuck. I didn't know you like such spicy food. You're gonna make me look like a baby if we go to this place, aren't you? Well, just know that if you do that, I'm taking you to my favorite Turkish coffee house. You might get me on Carolina Reapers, but that coffee would wake the actual dead. It's the coffee that kept me up for nearly a week straight during finals. Thank you. Here. I've been wearing gloves to read them and swapping them out frequently. Get the letters to your forensic lab so they can give enough excuses for a warrant to be written up, okay? And then, once you've done that, you think you can take the night off? Because I want to enjoy my time with you, detective. And I have a home theater with a lot of movies to choose from. You look like a classic sort of woman. Big lover of old media. But I've been wrong before. I know this feels weird, and perhaps asking you to enjoy what time we have is selfish, but this will never, ever happen again. I will never get this chance again, and we both know it. So just once in my life, I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable because, God, I couldn't have caught feelings any harder, you know? I'll have my personal chef prepare something truly excellent, as well as the usual movie theater snacks, you know? I'll be damned before I'm too good for movie theater popcorn. Yeah, we can do fountain soda, don't you worry. That's one of the few perks of the criminal lifestyle, you know? You get to buy all the crazy and cool stuff you couldn't afford as a kid, and share it with your big kid friends. Or the woman you're crushing on. I don't know. Yes, 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 ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I offer you a tribute of movies, snacks, fine meals, and jacuzzi tub. Oh, that did it. A good jacuzzi tub holds a lot of power, especially for stressed people that carry the weight of the world on their shoulders and they need a nice massage. Screw it. I'll order in 2 masseuses as well. We can talk a lot of shit over bad movies while getting our spine snapped professionally. Sound good? Great. I'll finish up here. You get that evidence submitted, and I'll meet you in the living room in an hour. Okay? Good, detective. Okay, you have to try the ribeye here. I know it's more upscale and all, but it seriously is good, detective. I know you want to save room for the spicy stuff, but please, at least try a little bit off my plate, okay? It's gonna be one for the scrapbook, I promise. Hi, yes, the ribeye for me, please, and the killer heat platter for my wife. Yes, wife. Sorry, still getting used to the change from girlfriend. Right, babe? Wife, huh? Sure, you were just covering for my blunder, wifey. Nope, you're gonna have to deal with me calling you my wife until time ends. Even if I almost accidentally said it first. Detective, is everything okay? Excuse me? If I were going to be your husband, I'd need to be a lot more respectable. Wow, ouch, yeah, well, maybe so. You have been telling me for a long time that I'm not exactly man enough for you. I know you're not trying to hurt my feelings, sweetheart. I'm dense, but I get the bit, so keep playing along. What? Well, if you feel that way, then why don't you just dump me? Excuse me? Don't you think I want to protect you? I'm doing my best. It's not my fault we're dealing with a criminal mastermind. Look, I've done my best to protect you against that madman, okay? It's been more than I expected. Okay, good acting, but don't ever insinuate my little brother is more of a man than me again, got it? I'm trying to lure him, not give him a big head before I put a bullet in it. Apology accepted. No pleasing you, detective, I swear. First your ex, now me? You just have a thing for dangerous men. And you're gonna get yourself killed trying to find the biggest and baddest and mean guy in the city, trying to fill whatever attraction you have. What's this? A drink for the lady? Interesting. And from whom, may I ask? A man with eye for quality. Well, I don't think she'll be accepting it. Please take it away. You want it to go? Sheesh, fine. Do whatever the lady says and I'll throw another 100 on your tip. God. You are doing so good, detective. I bet Micah thinks we're really fighting right now. No, I'm used to having to act. Do you know how often I had to avoid swinging on idiots in public? I'm actually very good at pretending to be a good boy. Well, of course not around you. I'm myself with you. Just like you're yourself with me. No, I will not stop. I don't care about Micah right now. And I know for a fact that he's not going to try any assassination here. This place, it's neutral ground. We agreed on that a long, long time ago. Back when we were still close friends, I guess. You know how I feel? Okay, humor me. How? I remember the story about that young cop that got taken out during a shootout, yes. That was a few years back, though. You were training him? Oh, jeez. He pulled his gun on you when you tried to tell him to calm down? He was getting a little too aggressive and hurting innocents when he pulled his gun and you had to take him out? Oh, shit. I mean, I guess you do understand then. Being the older, more responsible one in the party really sucks. And here's your oh so kind drink to go. With a note wrapped around it? I see. The kind young man that felt my date was beautiful enough to send a drink also wants to leave her with his number. How bold. I think we'll take our check now, as the lady said. Yes. Thank you. Babe, do you think you could have the car brought around by the valet? Don't what? I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to confront him. I know how dangerous his situation is and how unhinged he is. What do you mean you need me around? No, you don't. You want me to be around? You're scared of me getting hurt. Stick close by, detective, okay? Why? Oh, I might have done something a bit naughty. Look at this text I sent. I didn't? Oh yes, I did. Lenny did owe me the favor after you beat him up so bad he went back to kindergarten mentally for a few hours. Mind you, if your ex is storing up the restaurant as of a few seconds ago, We should probably leave. Knew your Jarhead X is monitoring the chat that Lenny was using. It might be a good shot, but his hacking is pretty obvious. Now, I think our best bet is through the kitchen. 1 second. Excuse me, sir. Honestly, you've been a great waiter tonight, and I'd really love to tell the chef all about it. If you could get my lady and I a brief audience. And before you answer, here is 1,000 decent tip, right? I don't go out very often these days, and I don't know. Tony, my old friend. How have you been? Good to see you. I just wanted to stop in and say you had a very good front of the house staff this time around. Our waiter was a delight. Oh my, it sounds like you have quite the scuffle on your hands out there, Tony. That can't be good for business. Honey, I know you're an officer of the law, but you're off duty tonight. Should really call the other officers to handle any kind of disagreement. Wouldn't you agree? Would I be so kind to call them? Of course, my beloved. I know you need to relax as best as you can. Hi there. I need to report a scuffle at Poseidon's on the 1st. 2 large men appear to be quite drunk and causing a scene. You'll have someone here shortly? Thank you. It sounds like one of the men dipped, according to my wife. Tall, blonde hair, lots of tattoos. According to her, the guests have pinned the other guy. My wife is saying she can handcuff the lunatic for you guys, if you want. Why does she have handcuffs on her? She's an off-duty officer. We were on our date night, and she'd like to do things by the book, if that's alright with you. Especially considering that one of the men involved appears to be her ex, who has a history of violence and stalking. Thank you. We'll be headed out now, but if you guys have any follow-up questions, don't be afraid to call this number back. Hey, Tony. We'll be leaving through the back exit, okay? You can deal with that out there, however you see fit. Oh, I had the valet pull the car around the back a few minutes after you spotted Micah. A different car brought from home and checked over, of course. Aw, did you just call me clever, detective? However am I meant to handle you complimenting me? Everything is fine, just waiting to see the show. Just watch. There you go. Take the bait. I'd recommend looking away, detective. And that's one problem taken care of. Hey, listen to me. I know you feel some semblance of guilt right now, but that man hurt you. He wanted to take your life away. And I know as much just from how he wrenched that door open with that look in his eyes. He would have killed you, detective. And I promised I would protect you. Promised to? Myself. I promised myself that I would protect you, no matter the cost. Driver, can we get some nice soothing music back here, please? It's what he deserved. Don't spare any feelings on a man that thinks loving you is the same as seeing you dead on the ground. Just so no one else can ever possess or know you. I know that's hard for you, but we've dealt with one part of the problem. He can't hurt you anymore. I have you. I'm here. How can you be a bad person if you didn't know what my plan was, detective? You can't get away with murder without a reasonable alibi, right? And, well, I have no problem bloodying my hands to help you. Detective. I will protect you. I will cherish you for as long as the universe allows me to, even if it means resorting to something this underhanded and cold. Don't play coy. You know why I'd go this far for you, without a second thought. You know I would do outright evil and despicable things just to see you smile. You know why. You just don't want to say it out loud. My detective. I'd watch the world burn every day. I told you that. I'd take absolute honor in being the one to end the man that brought harm to you. And it was pretty fun to hear Micah get laid out a few times by his own attack dog. He thought he was so slick flirting with you right in front of me. He always overestimates how much control he really has over his crew, and he pays for it every single time. Now what? You call the police chief when we get home and make your report. The cops on the scene will take care of the rest, and with such a high-profile event happening in a ritzy part of town, the reporters will be swarming for the story. Pressure will build up on the police force to find the perp, and thus, pressure will build up on Micah and whatever help he has remaining in the meantime. You are just an innocent bystander caught up in the drama. And you'll be taking some vacation time to handle the stress. I do think of everything. Thank you. I'm gonna make sure you're pampered and cared for in wake of this devastating news, alright? I mean, after all, you had no idea your dangerous ex rigged out our car to explode, now did you? And you had no way of knowing that the car we arrived in would run over the nail and we'd have a call in for a spare, did you? No, of course not. You were just trying to enjoy your night with your husband. And what reasonable cop would try to accuse you of planning any of this? No. I'm not playing a dangerous game at all, detective. That would be implying that I'm still playing. And you and I both know that I am done playing. And I was done the moment I saw blood on you. No one is ever going to hurt you again, detective. Not on my watch. They're just gonna have my back? Probably whatever knife finds its way there first, I mean, if I had to guess. But I'm the one that's meant to be in danger. If I told you beforehand, I know you would have had my back. But I also know you would have tried to stop me. You would have tried one more time or one more thing to help him, and listen, you're too good, sweetheart. You would have tried to help again, and he would have taken your life for it. You don't fight demons with angels. You fight them with bigger and meaner demons. Why did I call you my wife in front of so many people? To sell the bit, and because it makes me ridiculously happy and smug. I suppose I should get you a ring to wear if we're going to pretend. Let me see your hand. When did I get the ring? Oh, this? I got this a few days ago. I saw it when I went to get my watch repaired, and it caught my eye. And, well, I guess I just thought of you, spent 25 grand on it, got it resized, and kept it. Just for the right occasion. Good thing I'm so clever, right? I planned this from the beginning. Detective, please. You really think I'd try to subtly propose to you with a gorgeous ring at a fancy restaurant after torching your ex? I mean, you think I have that much brain power to put together something so ludicrously romantic and complex? Come on. I'm clever, not a genius. It's a beautiful ring. I hope you'll consider keeping it. Fake wife or not. Why? Detective, a gift doesn't need a reason, and who knows? Maybe it'll stop any loser men from wasting their time on you in the future. Only a real man is going to see that ring and know what he needs to bring to the table to get with you. It's not a bribe, it's a gift. Nothing more or less. You can interpret it however you see fit. At the end of the day, for right now, it simply means that the world sees you as my wife until the illusion ends. Is that really so bad? That's what I thought. Now, come on. Let's get home and finish up our movie marathon. I think someone's gonna need a nice cry after all of today's events. Detective, you look sublime when you're too tired to glare. Did you know that? Yeah. I know you want me to shut up. Got it, wifey. I'm sorry, dear. You comfy there? You need any water or anything? You've been through a lot tonight. And once that numbness wears off, I'm worried it's going to hit you like a freight train. There's nothing you could have done for him, Detective. If anything, I hope you can find some peace in him no longer needing to contend with whatever demons were running amok in that walnut-sized brain of his. He hurt you. I wouldn't forgive that of a bee, let alone a grown-ass man. and he would not have stopped until you were dead. I've got you. And I need you to be alert, despite the delicious dinner we had. Because our car is being followed, my dear. Oh, I am fully aware and pretty sure that that's Micah. Only he would be dumb enough. You hurt his ego, detective. And we took out one of his minions / muscle. He's running off of big feelings right now and not much else. Driver, you heard her. Let's keep things at neutral, okay? Make it look like we haven't noticed. No, don't call for backup just yet. I know what his plan is. How? Because he's the idiot that used to binge watch heist movies constantly, talking about his perfect plan of sneaking up with a convoy of cars to some complex, and then robbing the place blind. And because he considers himself some kind of main character, I have no doubt that all of the thought in his mind right now are about how it's all led up to this, how this was inevitable, the usual nonsense, you know? Look, just keep your gun at the ready and follow my lead when we get home, okay? Right now, we are basking in our victory, none the wiser. Understood? Don't stress it. If we play out our cards right, we can end this tonight. But I need you to trust me. Can you do that? Good. Everything is going to be okay, detective. I promise. Here we are, my dear. Nice dinner. Good. I like spoiling you. Even when you're entertaining little thugs who think they know better. Trust me. I'm going to count to 3, and when I do, I want you to run for the switch and lock this compound down. Micah will try to chase, but I can hold him off. Gosh, seriously, detective. Don't worry about me. I can handle myself, alright? Good girl. 3, 2. You never did have any patience, you little... Run, detective. Detective, get out of here. I've got this. Baby, I love you, but I can't exactly give you a clear shot at the present. Detective. Are you alright? Did he? Okay. It's time for us to leave this room now, sweetheart. Okay? Can you do that? Easy. Here you go. Don't be sorry. If Micah had still been my little brother, somewhere in there, he would have stopped. He would have stopped before people actually got hurt. Would he have hit on you before? Absolutely. Would I have decked him for it? Yeah. And part of me will miss that. Part of me will miss him. But, Detective, I'm just glad you're okay. I'm okay. You got a nasty hit in and it shook me for a few, but I'm okay. Detective. Don't go. Please. I know I said that we'd have to say goodbye. I know I said I would be ready for it when it happened, but I just... Please. I love you. If you love me too, then... No, I know. I know we can't. This can't happen while you're an officer of the law. I know it can't. The police will be here shortly. They'll see it's done and they'll take you away. This really, truly sucks. Ms. Micah would say. All this power and money and time, and I can't do a single thing to stop this. Can you promise me one thing before all of this wraps up? Please. Promise me you'll try and find happy moments still. Okay? Even if I can't be a part of them. Even if you ultimately find someone else, please, 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 Detective. Just promise me that you'll take care of yourself and try to find moments of peace. Okay? Yes, you can do that, Detective. You can try. I love you. Never forget that on these main streets, okay? And if somehow we do end up seeing each other again, try not to call me an asshole too loudly, okay? Goodbye, Detective. She was like nothing else, Stan, I'm telling you. Like a furious, bloody angel, ready to deck a demon with brass knuckles and... Fuck, I fumbled it. Why am I still on this? It's been 4 months. Stan, you make a killer coffee. But your bedside manner is appalling. No, this seat isn't taken, ma'am. Do I come here often? Ma'am, look, I'm kind of dealing with a bit of a bad breakup right now, and I'm not really looking for any kind of rebound relationship. I've got enough regrets to sink a ship at this point. I said I wasn't interested. Ma'am, if I were worried about the police being in my business, Detective? What are you doing here? I doubt they'd let you just go and grab a coffee in the middle of the day or whatever, right? You quit? You're still wearing the ring too. Wait a second. Did you quit just to be with me? Okay, yes, I guess I do still have something of an ego. It's only been a few months since all of that crap with Micah and your ex ended, you know? I haven't exactly had a ton of time to just out and grow out of it. Been kind of busy at the bottom of this, whatever it is, you know? You didn't like what you saw when you were on the beat, huh? So let me get this straight. You figured you'd see what good you might be able to do on your own. Or at the very least with a good partner? Detective, gosh. You're making me blush. Would I still have you? You're seriously gonna ask me that when you walked up on me moping, trying to figure out if Stan is properly suited to be a therapist. I haven't even had the room that you stayed in altered since you left. I didn't even change out the couch your freaking cat decided was a $10,000 scratching post. I'm sure the little furry shit misses me. And I've kind of missed him too, from time to time. Almost considered getting a little fur gremlin of my own. Something to glare at me, fill that oh so gaping void of detective sass. You know what sounds really nice right now, though? Going home and cuddling with my wife. You know me so well. I'm probably gonna be on my honeymoon for a bit, so Stan, just put it on my tab. And do direct any complaints towards Lenny for the next few weeks, okay? Your chariot, my dear. I love you too. And don't think I didn't hear you quietly whisper asshole under your breath. Take us home, driver, if you would. I think the boys will be real excited to know that Mama's come home for good this time.